Let's go watch it in 2D. No, let's go watch it in 3D. But if we watch it in 3D, then is it worth the cost?
Maleficent's back!
Well, well.
Philip asked me to marry him.
Don't ruin my morning.
This year,
We will soon be family.
she gives evil a good name.
Maleficent.
Maleficent! We must all learn a little kindness.
Kindness. It's more than I can bear.
Maleficent, mistress of evil.
Hello, hello, hello. This is Adolf. I have with me Jake.
Howdy, folks.
And today on 3D2D.com podcast, we're reviewing Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. As always, we'll talk about the 3D element. I did the review, so I'll start talking about it, and hot damn, this movie looks gorgeous in 3D. Is it just me?
It looked good. I mean, yeah, there was some dark scenes that kind of ruined the 3D effect, but the other scenes were damn. Especially when Maleficent discovered her own people that you kind of see in the trailer. That opening scene when she wakes up, wow, the 3D really popped.
So, the film actually starts with like a scene in like the enchanted, is it swamp or forest or I don't know. And it kind of pans and zooms around, and it's like, damn, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, this is a really great way of doing this. And I was like, damn. And it really gives you a good diorama effect. You have like really good sense of depth, and you get the little fairies flying around and all the little creatures, and all of it's all really fake CG, but it works. It definitely, I don't know if any of this was real, but it definitely worked.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of here scenes with perspective shots that are just like so perfectly complemented with the 3D.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they took some care. Yeah, they took some care with this.
Like, there's a lot of scenes with long corridors that go into the distance. There's a lot of things that fly at the screen. You said the darkly lit scenes, and my theater, maybe I was lucky. It handled all the dark scenes perfectly. I was shocked. This is the second time recently that I've seen really darkly lit movie in 3D and did not have a problem. The other one was Gemini Man. And the darkly lit scenes was fine here for me. And like you said, the scenes with the other, demon creatures, I think they're called
Dark Fae.
Dark Fae, which I never heard that term before, but whatever.
Yeah, Fae is an old term for fairy.
Okay. So the middle is kind of, pretty good 3D, if not really great. And then the end with all the things flying around, it's a big action scene and a lot of really great, again, perspective shots. A lot of times where you could, I think for me, this is the kind of movie you want to show in film school. This is how you do a perspective shot. This is how you make the 3D complement that shot. Where like you get the long hallway, you get the really far, drop, and it makes sense to have that really good depth there and things flying out in the screen, the action. I really love the 3D in this movie. I think it really stunned me, and for me, I give it a great editor's choice 3D. Jake, what do you give it?
I still stick with a good 3D because, like I said, the dark scenes didn't work for me.
So, the dark scenes will definitely vary by your location and, but
Mhm.
I think you definitely will enjoy it. So,
Mm-hmm.
now onto the movie itself. So, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil is the sequel to the 2014 Maleficent movie, and it's a twisted retelling of the Sleeping Beauty story. Now, before we watched this movie, we were really confused if this was a sequel, a prequel, or a reboot. This is a sequel, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they just pretty much chose to jettison most of the original movie. The original movie is pretty much a rape revenge story.
So they kind of just retell a lot of the original movie in this movie, which is kind of weird. But I mean, it's fine. It's been like 5 years, so whatever.
Yeah, it's a mulligan.
And I actually watched this original last week in preparing for this review, and I was a little bit shocked how bored I was and how kind of bland it was. And it's like, oh yeah, I kind of like the original, but I don't love it. And I kind of feel the same way about this one.
No.
So the movie takes place 5 years after the events of the last one, and basically ends where you would think, where Prince Philip wants to get married with Aurora, which is Sleeping Beauty, and Maleficent isn't too happy, and Prince Philip's family isn't too happy either, and via a series of unfortunate events, Maleficent and her kind declare war with the kingdom. And will Philip and Aurora get married? Will magical creatures and human creatures live in peace and harmony together? Well, you're gonna have to watch the movie to find out for yourself. Is that a good summary?
Yeah. Yeah.
So sadly, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil is kind of a mediocre movie.
Yeah, but it's a lot better than the first one.
The motivations for these characters are really basic. It's all rather predictable. Maleficent is the only character with personality. I kind of felt like everyone else was pretty bland, like unbuttered biscuit.
Well, I liked Michelle Pfeiffer's character. I mean, she kind of let her hate destroy her.
The acting I thought was I thought most of the characters were pretty one note. I thought the middle of the movie was kind of slow and boring. I don't know about you.
It worked for me. This is one movie I thought would have benefited from being 20 minutes longer to kind of flesh some stuff out.
Now, talking about fleshing stuff out, we do get more dark phase, the winged demon creatures like Maleficent. And I thought it was interesting, but I kind of felt like it didn't do enough.
Yeah, this movie, to me, it felt like a really old school Disney movie, kind of a boulderdized fairy tale, for good and for bad. This I felt was a much better movie than the first one, but it still wasn't a great movie. I wish they'd went more high camp with it.
Now, I don't know about you, but this seemed like a really obvious story about allegory toward prejudice and overcoming that prejudice, and it didn't really feel preachy. Did I get that, or is it just you?
Yeah, to me, seemed like the whole thread through it was genocide, which is kind of dark material for a Disney movie.
Yeah, there's some big plot holes here, and a lot of unresolved questions. And a lot of those little creatures, those magical creatures, really look fake. They don't have any presence on screen. It's kind of a sloppy mess of a movie.
Yeah, it's a train wreck.
That being said, I still liked it.
Yeah, I liked it well enough.
It's dumb, but I enjoyed it. The creatures, they look fake, but they're cute and enduring. It's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, this is, like I said, this felt like a Walt Disney movie that Uncle Walt had a hand in. I mean, this also felt like a fairy tale. This is some of the castle scenes look like they recycled animation from the Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland, and I was like, yeah, just Google Disney recycled animation and you'll see they have a long history of it. I mean, I could be wrong, but it looked like they tried to shave off several million off the budget by reusing and repurposing animation and just add new skins and layers to it to make it look a little different.
So if you don't take this movie too seriously, I think you'll probably still have a good time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a fairy tale. It's much better than the first one. And Angela Jolie, she looks like she could kill somebody with those cheekbones.
So overall, I kind of think it's a bad movie, but I like it. It's not like it's not like to the extreme where it's so bad it's good, but I like it enough that I'm going to give it a score of a 6 out of 10. Jake, what is your score?
I'll give it a 7. Because, I mean, to me, the first one was a 5, and this is at least 2 points over that.
Okay, that's going to be it for this podcast. All right, before this podcast ends, I want to give a thank you to my patrons. Right now, we have one patron, which is David from Spain, and I want to thank you for your financial support. All right, so that's going to be it for this podcast.
We now have a Patreon, and the link is in the description. Thanks for watching.
And we are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. They don't put it everywhere. Just look for us, 3D or 2D. And of course, review us on iTunes. And if you want to write us a letter, our email address is email3dortwo d@gmail.com. So that's going to be it. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone.